Yo, 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 what's going on? Thank y'all for tuning in to another Daily Fitness live stream show. Yes, sir. Hopefully everybody's doing good. It's Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully your day is going well. Getting close to the hump day, beginning of the week. Third day, so you got to get that rent paid before you get that late charge. But hopefully you're having a good day at work. And if not, let Mr. Chow break it down to you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
Long as you didn't die, as long as you ain't lose your life, you are still here able to make something good happen, and make something good happen with your life, and, you know, do what you got to do to make things work. Because, I mean, shit, what else is there to do? Stay focused, keep grinding, and make something happen. So let's go. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So today, man, we got a show lined up for you today. And I just want to go over, I titled the show Sharia Law in America, which it could be Islam in America. But either way it go, we're going to sit down and take a look at what's going on as far as America, in my humble opinion, is under a economic war that for some reason I guess people can't see that's happening right now, but clearly it is happening, and America is losing bigly to this war that we got going on, economic war, because everybody knows that if you're gonna go up against America, you can't go up against America with the pow-pows and the pew-pews. I mean, maybe over time you can if you break it down from the inside, which is what I think we see happening on a religious front, more like a crusade front. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at Sharia law infiltrating America piece by piece, step by step, day by day. Islam is coming in, and they is not bullshitting whatsoever. They are trying to basically take over from the inside. Kind of like some Bolsheviks revolution, you know, where they turned Russia into the USSR and just kind of packed up and left and like did the same playbook. But I did a show on the Muslim Brotherhood in 1991. I read actually the document that I found, and it was speaking from 1991 up to how they were going to do the 2000. And then now, you know, it seems like they stuck to the playbook really well, because they are executing what it is that they're doing, and it seems like their plan is going according to plan. So yeah, things ain't looking too shabby right now. Everybody's paying attention to fraud and all these other things, and Epstein files and relationships and men and dating and all this dumb shit. But in reality, bruh, yeah, there's something big on the horizon. And if you change a country's religion, you change everything. Yeah, you do. You change everything. So America is up for a radical change in the near future, and it seems like at this point, right now, with the direction the pendulum has swung, it has, like I always say, I call Trump the postponer of the inevitable. He's postponing the inevitable because eventually, at some point, when that pendulum swings back and it goes blue, or hell, it could be red and turn blue, just because of the fact that, you know, people ain't loyal to nothing. You know, you look at politics, you're looking at a fancy version of WWE is what I call it. You see them come down to the ring, and, you know, it's left versus right, red versus blue, like some gang members or something like that. And then they up there fighting, and, you know, I'm going to do this to you and do that to you. And yeah, you might see some casualties. Some people may lose their lives, and some people may go to jail, but it's all part of the show. Now, the casualties, losing your life and, you know, going to jail, it may actually happen in real life. It might be real, but that's part of the game. It's part of the agenda. They go backstage and they be like, hey, man, that was good shit. You had me fooled there for a minute. I mean, I saw the bullet fly by my head. I was like, oh, almost got me. But, you know, it's just part of the game. But, I mean, I could have really died. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So whenever you see him, so whenever you look at this stuff, we're gonna break down. I'm gonna show you how Islam or Sharia law, whatever you want to call it, or Sharia law is soon to be implemented at some point down the line. I mean, but I'm gonna show you, like, the drip campaign, the longevity. They plan the long book, and they're doing a damn good job. And I mean, I'm not trying to be converted to Islam. That's not my thing. But you're going to just look at how they are doing a damn good job. But you can't do a good job without the cooperation of your own country. You know what I mean? So you're going to see cooperation come from Americans selling out Americans. I mean, because everything is for the dollar. And we're going to get to a lady, and her name, oh man, I forget her name. She's really good. What's your name? Ayan Hirsi Aliyah. Hopefully I said her name correctly. I kind of butchered her name, but she's going to break down that she's been going over this stuff for decades. She's been talking about this for the longest. And she's like, look, I don't know if y'all know what's about to happen, but y'all think everything gonna be good. But I mean, they gonna get everything under wraps. They gonna let you vote in, all the stuff that they oppose. And then once they get you under wraps, because not only do they know not to just come in and fight you with, physical force and guns, they know to go in and get you at the voting polls and get you at religion. Then once they clamp down on you, then they gonna come in and be like, all right, that's it. Shut up. And then you're gonna start hearing, calls to prayer and conversions and all sorts of stuff. And to think for the first time in history, well, not history, for the first time in hundreds of years, you're living through, and maybe this may take another 20 years to settle in, 30 years to settle in. I mean, honestly, it could take 10 years with the way this shit's going right now, because the new generation, the Gen Z, and if the Gen Alpha is brought up the same way, and how, communism is, I can't really say communism, but the way everything is high priced, high inflated, hard for people to make a living. The economics is hard as hell. So when, one system is not working as far as capitalism goes, and people are like priced out of capitalism, then, people are like, I'm not able to get in the game and have a fair advantage. So I'm not able to play. So I'm going to go and bring in socialism or communism and say, basically, to you people who are winning,
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers,
Exactly. So since y'all are winning and I can't win, I'm going to vote in this thing of socialism and communism. And hopefully it benefits me and screws you. So then, therefore, you got a clash between the country from within, because some people are winning and some people are losing. And it just is what it is. Then on top of that, when you see the people are winning, Epstein files come out, and then you see all the crazy debaucherous bullshit that they're doing behind the scenes. And people are like, you gotta be shitting me. They looking at these people doing all sorts of things to kids and babies and all this stuff. And they just like, bruh, and you're the one that's in charge and you're winning. So it brings frustration and all this stuff along. But while all that's going on, we're going to look at and see how Islam is strategically placing itself. And I always say you can't do it without the help from the country within. So they're getting themselves put in strategic locations, probably from foreign financing, Americans selling out Americans, all different kind of aid. And even with the fraud that we've seen, maybe some of this fraud money is going to help, different organizations come in and push the agenda even further. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot going on, man. But we're finna go ahead and get right into it, because I don't want to waste too much time, because yeah, I got stuff I got to get done today. So let's go ahead and just dive right into the show. So with that being said, let me go ahead and grab my sexy ladies to give us a proper introduction.
Welcome to the economy segment of the show. Enjoy.
All right, so first things first, we're going to start off. We're going to go in the great state of Tejas. Yes, sir, baby. Tejas. Tejas is my home. So we're going to go ahead and check out what's going on in Tejas. So we're going to kick things off with a dude by the name of Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley, if you don't know, young kid who decided to go in, and he's the one that popped off the Minnesota fraud by finding out that there's a whole lot of fraud going on. And he's the one that kicked it off to spark to light the spark, to get everything on and to put it under scrutiny, and to see that, oh snap, there's something going on and it's really big and it's just going crazy. Well, anyway, he was out in Texas at a point in time, and in Texas he had a situation where he got kicked off of a land. He got kicked off of property while he was in Texas, because it was private property that was owned by Muslims, and he got kicked off of the land because, he wasn't a Muslim. So I was like, yikes. So first we're going to kick this off in Texas, and we're just going to do different, and then we're going to navigate around the country. So here we go. Starting off with Texas. First one is Nick Shirley. So here we go.
There's also a big federal investigation, I think by the DOJ or by the, and there's also a big federal investigation, I think by the DOJ or by the FBI, as far as there was a concern that Sharia law may be taking place here, and they did a full, what? I'm not lying, I'm talking about the investigation that happened. I'm not lying. There was an investigation, they found that no Sharia law was taking place with the investigation. What do you mean am I allowed to be here? Of course I'm allowed to be here.
No, you're not. Are you Muslim?
No.
This is property for the mosque. It's not for you. Hey, you're on private property. I need you on the other side.
Okay, so I can't be on this part? I can't be on this side of the street?
You need to be on the other side of the rope or on the sidewalk.
Just because of private property?
This is private property, yes. Till
Oh, okay. So like they can kick me off the mosque. Yeah, no, I understand. But I'm just wondering why.
Public side's right there.
All right, I got you. All right, you guys just got kicked off of the mosque property, I guess. I just got moved off and they told me I had to come on this side of the sidewalk.
Very simple. Just on the other side of that yellow tape. Just on the other side and you're good, okay? You can do whatever you want.
All right. Okay, you guys, we already got kicked off the property of the mosque. It's kind of weird.
And click right here to see what happens next.
All right, so as you can see, Buddy got kicked off of some private property. It was a mosque. Whoops, it was mosque property. Since he wasn't Muslim, they said he couldn't be on it. So I was just like, oh boy, and that's in Texas. And he said that the DOJ had found out that there was no Sharia law going on. But I think Governor Abbott in Texas went ahead and said that you are not able to implement Sharia law in Texas. So for right now, as far as Sharia law goes, if I'm not mistaken, Governor Abbott says to Sharia law for the moment. Just for the moment. But I don't know how long that's going to last because, I mean, you know, they're pretty persistent about, you know, getting their shit organized. But as you can see, though, they have a whole, they have mosque private property that they own. And they can kick you off for, you know, not being Muslim on their property. Now, it gets deeper. It goes deeper than just that. You might be thinking, Daniel, I mean, come on. That's kind of like, really, anybody can have private property and kick you off. True. But it gets deeper than that. Like, it actually does. Now, I've done videos to show you how big it was and how much property that they have going on up there. And it's basically like, how do I say it? They have like hundreds, hell, maybe thousands of acres of land where they've built whole subdivisions. They got beautiful homes. I mean, bro, houses are beautiful, beautiful homes, a lot of land, street names that have, I would say Islamic names or whatever, like a street name like Al Hadir or Al Shabak Road or something like that. They got school buses, school grocery stores, mosques, like a whole subdivision dedicated. And I'm just looking like, how in the hell they pull that shit off? And this is what I'm seeing in Texas. Then as time goes on, you start to see like Minnesota, you see California, you see New York, you see Maine, you start to see other places, and you're thinking like, what the hell? I think Ohio is one as well. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And if I got time getting close to the end, I'll just keep adding places just to show you how far this goes. But to show you how big that this is getting, let's check out what the Muslims are trying to do by creating a centric development in Texas. Let's take a look at this. This is a news thing where it says that the Texas officials are investigating a Muslim... Hold on, lady. Hold on. Calm down. This is about 10 months ago where they were investigating a Muslim-centric development. Let's take a look at how big this development is. And this was 10 months ago. I'm not sure if they got it approved or pulled off yet, but let's take a look.
Muslim-centric neighborhood, and a Muslim-centric neighborhood is in the works now at the center of a state investigation. Governor Abbott went as far as to say he'll promise it'll never be built. Attorney General Ken Paxton launched an investigation against the East Plano Islamic Center, that's also known as EPIC. EPIC wants to develop land in Josephine, about 25 miles east of Plano, and Kevin Reese has a look now at what both sides are saying.
402 acres of beautiful scenery. Welcome to the future of living. Welcome to Epic City.
In promotional videos, Epic City is a collection of single and multifamily homes and commercial developments surrounding a mosque and school.
Epic City is more than just a neighborhood. It's a way of life.
But last month online, Governor Abbott raised the rumor of Sharia law playing a part. State Rep Jeff Leach wrote a letter asking the Attorney General to investigate. And Epic responded to the governor online saying, "Our vision is to build a diverse, safe, and inclusive community and will follow all local, state, and federal laws." And the resident scholar at Epic acknowledged the noise.
You're probably aware that on social media, there's a lot of negative campaigns against our particular masjid, Epic, because of our project, Epic City, right? And a lot of the far right are riling up hatred.
Now this week...
Okay, let me pause that. I have to pause that because he said it, not me. He said, all right, you have to take this into consideration. Okay, he said a lot of the far right are waving up controversy or whatever he said, right? But he said the far right. Okay, think about this. Islam, the culture itself, how does Islam align with the far left? Think about this. If you're bitching and complaining about the far right not wanting you to do this, all right? Think about it. The far right, let's say Governor Abbott is far right. He says, our vision is to build a diverse, safe, and inclusive community, one in which people of every background, faith, and culture can live together in harmony. Now, we just saw Nick Shirley get kicked off of private property. Dude said, are you a Muslim? You can't be over here. Cop ran over and kicked him off the stuff. So basically, like, if you're not a part of their background, faith, and culture, you can't live in harmony with them. He said, it should go without saying that our community, like all others in this great state, will follow all local, state, and federal laws. Okay, cool. Now, then he comes back and says, whoops. Then this dude here comes back and says, and he makes it very clear. He said there's a lot of controversy from the far right saying that, you know, have issues with our Epic Center. Well, your Epic Center is not inclusive to all background, faiths, and beliefs. You come from a different country, and only people of your faith and culture can be on your plot of land, which in my humble opinion is bullshit, because how can you come to a country and then literally say you can't be on here unless you're of our background, culture, and faith? Furthermore, he said the far right is causing controversy. How does Islam faith align with the left side? Think about it. The left side is pro-LGBTQ, pro-abortion, trans, what is that? LGBTQ, pro-abortion, pro my body, my choice, pro all the stuff that they don't jive with. They don't jive with any of that in the Islam culture. Divorcing, and they don't rock with that. They're not a big fan of that. They don't do that over there in Islam at all. They don't rock with that culture, you know. They don't. That's no hidden secret, you know, in the way they dress, the clothes, and the way they, you know, from my understanding, Islam is not big on dogs or pets in the house. You know, the way they dress, the far left, I mean, it's both sides, but the far left, where they dress, the way they carry themselves, colorful hair and all that stuff, could be both sides, but you get what I'm saying? Islam culture don't rock with that shit at all. Like, they don't. I mean, they're saying they're getting backlash from the right, but at the same time, if the left side came over to Islam, what you think they gonna do? You think they gonna welcome them with open arms? Hell no. They gonna be like, Exactly. Like, as soon as they get what they want out of them, they're going to take their votes. They're going to take their support. They're going to take them fighting for their agenda and their cause. And then once everything gets wrapped under their wraps, which we just saw Nick Shirley get kicked off a property for, they're going to look at the far left people and be like, thank you for your service. But now,
FYM. Fuck y'all motherfuckers, you know?
Exactly. That's what it's going to be. I mean, just think about that. That's a fact. They don't care. So I find it interesting that, you know, he's preaching to his people, but at the same time, you're about to destroy another side of people who helped you get into position. Like, that in itself is like, damn. And then you came to another country and you're excluding that country that allows you to do. But, you know, like I said, Americans are selling out Americans because they wouldn't be able to do this if somebody wasn't helping them pull this off. But anyway, let's continue to check out this Epic Center and what's going on in Texas. So here we go.
Campaigns against our particular masjid, Epic, because of our project, Epic City, right? And a lot of the far right are riling up hatred.
Now this week, Abbott and Paxton.
Nobody's hating, because I don't know anywhere in this. I don't know. Now, that's another thing. He said riding up hatred. That's another thing. Nobody hates a Muslim walking into HEB. That's our grocery store in Texas. Nobody hates when Muslims walk in HEB. Nobody hates them when they walk into Walmart. Nobody hates them when they're at the park, when they're at the school. Nobody hates them. There's no discrimination to them going anywhere. But as you see, when you get on they shit and you're not a Muslim, it's a problem. It was clear as day. It was a problem. So that's the thing. It's like nobody's stirring up hatred, just being a hypocrite. You're lying to get what you want, and then you're using the support of the far left to get your support further, even though you're going to put your foot in their ass and ostracize them when the time comes when you get what you want. That's the thing. You're lying. That's lies. Fact. That's lies. Nobody hates you. You're not hated. It's not hate. Nobody's doing hate crimes towards the Muslims whenever they go out to grocery stores or anything like that, or when they go to buy clothes and take their kid. Nobody's hating. It's not hatred. But we see when you get property, what you do is you ostracize and kick people off if they're not of your culture, your background, your faith. You're not all inclusive. You're trying to force people, if they want to live with you, they have to convert to you, and you have placed your flag in another country. So it's the lies that I don't jive with. The lying, it's like you got to cut that shit out, but they're not. But let's continue.
Announce a dozen.
I ain't gonna lie, this is a nice ass Epic Center though. I ain't gonna hold you. This shit look nice. Like I said, I saw the other one that they have out in the Dallas area. Shit is nice as hell. So they got good taste. They just be lying their ass off.
State agencies are investigating the proposed development, alleging serious legal issues. The Texas Funeral Commission sent a cease and desist.
Oh, did they pull it off? Look, that looks like it, doesn't it? See, there's the thing right there.
Alleging serious legal issues. The Texas Funeral Commission sent a cease and desist letter alleging illegal funeral services.
I think they might have pulled it off, because I do remember doing a video that showed this city. I'm not sure if it got pulled off, but I'm gonna pull it up next.
At the East Plano Islamic Center. And the governor on X writing, "This is the tip of the iceberg. The proposed community will never see the light of day." Representatives for Epic City could not be reached for comment on Thursday, but last month invited the governor to see the site and maybe some barbecue to learn more about the project. In Plano, I'm Kevin Reese.
Okay, so as you see, let me see if they pulled this off. I'm curious, did they pull this off? Let me pull this up, because I'm actually curious, because I remember doing a clip on this and I had went over this big time. But let me just see, did they pull this off? Let's see, Texas Epic Center Muslim? Did they actually get it done? 8 months ago, it says they halt construction. That's 8 months ago. I need something recent. DOG closes investigation into Epic City. Okay, but if they closed it, let's see, in Collin County. Let's see, did they get it though? That's the thing. Did they pull it off? Says it would be. Oh, I think they did get it. I think they pulled it off.
Brianda, the justice.
Let's see. Hold on. I think they got it done. I think they're pulling it off. Let's take a look here. Here we go.
Brianda, the Justice Department is closing its investigation into Epic City, a Muslim-centric development in Collin County. The proposal for the East Plano Islamic Center includes more than 1,000 homes and shops centered around a mosque. The developer says it would be open to everyone, but several Texas lawmakers have spoken out against it. Senator John Cornyn wrote a letter to the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi months ago saying he is worried Epic City will discriminate against other religions. The DOJ closed their inquiry 2 weeks ago with no explanation why. No lawsuits or charges were filed.
Okay, well, they had an investigation on them, but they got shut down. So therefore, they pulled it off. A new Muslim center in Texas could shake America. So did they get it pulled off? I'm trying to figure this out. I'm really curious. Okay, let's see. So somebody said they infiltrated it a month ago. And okay, so let's see. So now that was 7 months ago, the DOJ closed their investigation. So now this is a month ago, somebody infiltrated it. This looks. Here we go.
So it would be kind of like an exorcism.
All right, guys, we are back at Lance's house now. We just wrapped up our reporting on the massive protest in Plain. And an individual drove his vehicle up to me. He got out, he approached me. He told me his name is Samir. He's a volunteer at the mosque, and he offered to take me on a tour around the mosque. He said that at 2 p.m., there are going to be a bunch of journalists here that are going to be getting a tour of the mosque. And he's offered that I can actually go in early. I'm here alone. There are no other journalists here. I'm the first one here. It's about 10:30 Central Time.
Okay, so it seems like they got it done because they're over here giving people trips and invitations. But just remember this, though. I covered a different, I don't know where this was, but I do remember covering this. When I what I covered, they had a big land area, and it wasn't this place. It was something else. So this is a new one. They have another one that's super nice out in that area, but now they got this one on top of the other ones that I've seen. So just if you think this one looks nice, just double it. I would say double it because there's another one. There's like another one, maybe like 200, 300 acres, maybe more, but it's another one just like this, just as nice, just as freaking fancy. It's really nice looking, but to think that they got the money to pull this off is crazy, but it is what it is. But let's see what happens. Here we go.
I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, bro. I'm a diehard Christian. And you hey, you game? Dude, just walk away, bro. Just walk away, bro. You got that camera on my face, dude, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Brother, it's not worth it. I'm Christian. Brother. I'm Christian. You don't go. Brother, I'm Christian. You don't know what I got on my pocket. You got 2 seconds on my face. You got 2 seconds on my face. Come here. Come here, bro. Come here. Watch what I got on my pocket. Bro, come here. Got on my face. Bro, come here. It's hey. Bro, stop. Hey, got on my face. You got 5 seconds before I show I got on my pocket. Walk away, bro. Come here. Come here. Follow me. Christian. It's okay. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Come here. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. Religion and peace. Religion and peace. I see.
Keep walking. Keep walking. I'll break that camera right now.
It's not worth it.
I'll break your camera right now. I'll break your camera right now. Keep walking. I'm Christian. You a bitch. Hey, y'all get the fuck out of my city. Get the fuck out of my city.
Hey, get your boy. Get your mans, bro. I'll get mine. I'm telling you, get your man. It's gonna get bad for him. It's gonna get bad for him. I got it, bro. Walk away, bro. Hey, don't fucking spit. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
What's up? Talk about
What's going on? I thought I was trying to see I thought they were going to go check out a epic city. Seems like there's an epic showdown about to happen. I can't tell I'm going to assume the one saying he's a Christian is the Christian, and the other one must be the Islam. This ain't looking too good.
shit. What's up? What's up? I'm Chris. You want to record me? Record that shit. Record that shit.
Chill, bro. Chill.
What's up? What's up? I'm Christian. What's up?
Hey, fuck, hey. Come here. Hey, chill.
Okay, well, buddy just got an assault charge because this whole thing is on camera. Facial recognition activated. I would press charges.
Come here. Get back with the grip. Get back. Hey, come here.
It's religion and peace. That's all I wanted to show.
Exactly. Hey, that's the religion of peace, bro. F that. Yeah, bro. Walk away.
So can you tell me what happened?
So there's another reporter, someone filming. I noticed he was left behind, and there's a group of people together. So I stayed behind as well. He was having a conversation with someone. I wanted to be there to capture that conversation as well with my camera. And then eventually I was surrounded and confronted for filming because I had supposedly a camera in someone's face, wasn't in anyone's face. And they started pressuring me. I ended up with my back against the roadway, really didn't have anywhere to go, surrounded, started getting really aggressive and pushing me and, forcing themselves on me, surrounding me, not having anywhere to go. So then I ended up walking backwards on the sidewalk, started look at it and everything. But
the police. There was all.
Okay, so I can't tell who was Christian and who was Islam in this case, but as you can see, that's Texas. All right, so therefore that's Texas, but you get the idea, the gist of the point I'm trying to get. So clearly they're getting the epic city pulled off. So the epic city in Islam in Texas is going down. So that's slowly but surely. So now we're gonna move to a different location in the world. Hopefully, you know, they don't be fighting over here trying to cross crusades. I ain't ever seen a Christian get down like that. They tell me, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. F word, B word, B word, F word, B word. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Hey, let the crusades begin. Oh my goodness. I guess they're about to have a crusade right there on the street, man. I guess that's what's about to go down. But anyhow, what was I saying? So we're gonna go ahead and move to a different state now. So now that was Texas modern. That was what, within like 2, 3, 4 months ago, whatever. So that was recent, maybe a few weeks ago, whatever. But that was recent. That's what's going on in Texas. So they got an Epic City, plus they have a bunch more stuff already put together. Just type in Islam in Texas. Not just the Epic Center, but you'll see they got a lot of stuff set up already, and they stuff looks nice. It's not shitty. It's really nice. That's what blows me away at how nice it is. I'm like, bruh, where y'all getting this money from? But I digress. It must be foreign influence. Could be the George Soros of the world. I don't know who it is or what it is, but you know. They spoke about Babylon in the Bible, you know, come out of her, my people. And Proverbs 22:3 tells, you know, prudent man sees evil and, you know, gets away from it. But hey, it is what it is. So now we're going to slide over and we're going to move over to a different state. This is going to be the state of Michigan. All right. And to be exact, Dearborn, Michigan. Now, you might have heard about this one. This one has been a pretty big topic as far as the Muslim culture has been in Dearborn. However, I'm going to take you back to Dearborn, and this was posted. I don't know what day, I don't know what year it was in, but it was posted 15 years ago. This is when this was uploaded or posted. I don't know if it's 20 years old or 18 years old, but I know it was uploaded 15 years ago. So going all the way back 15 years ago in Dearborn, Michigan, we're going to take a look to see what's been going on since way back when, and just to see how long they've been in works and making this a progressive effort to get their things put into place and get their shit in order, and to basically, you know, come and infiltrate America through the voting polls, because that's what they're doing. They're voting and getting their way in. They're going in and getting land and following laws and policies, and then putting themselves into positions of, you know, like Congress and Senate and stuff like that. And they're able to work the system from the inside, as opposed to try to use pow-pows and pew-pews to basically go to war with America, because that's just not a thing that you can do. Like, America goes gung-ho when it comes to weapons. Like, just like, yeah, you don't want to go to war, America. Everybody knows that. Like, it's just the weapons is ridiculous. The amount of money we spend on military is stupid. However, the infiltration from the inside is a different story. You can convince people to sell out their country for money, which that's what America's about. America's about a dollar bill. So we see America selling out Americans, but this is 15 years ago in Dearborn, Michigan. Let's take a look at what's been going on in Dearborn, Michigan, 15, maybe so more years ago. Here we go.
Controversial remarks about Sharia law were made at a Tea Party rally, and now Dearborn's mayor is setting the record straight.
Okay, this might be low, but it's turned up all the way, so it's about as loud as it can get.
The mayor of Dearborn is fighting back, taking on Sharon Angle, a Senate candidate from the state of Nevada, who recently suggested that Islamic religious law, or Sharia law, has taken hold in Dearborn. Mayor John O'Reilly went on CNN with Anderson Cooper Monday night to talk about his distress over Angle's comments.
No, there's no Sharia law in Dearborn, Michigan. In fact, there's hardly any Sharia law in the Middle East. Only about 3 countries actually still carry that out.
Okay, so when you see somebody like this, do you understand why I say Americans are selling out Americans? This is 15 plus years ago. When I say Americans are selling out Americans, this is your prime example right here. This is Dearborn, Michigan, but let's continue.
Hardly any Sharia law in the Middle East. Only about 3 countries actually still carry that out.
At a recent rally, Nevada Senate candidate Sharon Angle said, quote, Dearborn, Michigan and Frankfort, Texas are on American soil and under constitutional law, not Sharia law, and I don't know how that happened in the United States. It seems to me there is something fundamentally wrong with allowing a foreign system of law to even take hold in any municipality or government situation in our United States, end quote. On Monday, Mayor O'Reilly sent a letter to Angle telling her in part that she's been misled about Dearborn and that Muslims actively participate in community events celebrating America.
Has there been an effort by anyone in Dearborn to get Sharia law instituted?
Oh, no. It isn't even talked about in Dearborn. This is an invention of some people who have as their goal, I mean, they believe that the Muslim faith is a false faith, it's dishonest, and they really believe at the heart of it, by their own avocation, that if Muslims won't convert, they should be removed from America.
And Mayor
Lies. Once again, lies, as you can see. Now, check this lady out right here. Where's she at? This lady she was in Nevada. She's in Nevada. And she's talking about Dearborn, Michigan and Frankfort, Texas. In Nevada is where she's at. And she was seeing this 15 plus years ago. And then you got this guy right here lying his ass off talking about, no, they don't practice. No, they don't do. No. But we just seen clear as day over here. We were watching. We saw what happened. As we can see all this stuff right here. We see clear as day. They got a whole epic center that they're trying to get under wraps in Texas and a bunch of other things. Because like I said, this stuff they have projects similar to this in Texas that's already put together. This is just one you're hearing about. There's stuff like this already in Texas done, fully constructed, schools, markets, roads like this, like looking beautiful like this. So when Buddy here is sitting here telling you a bold-faced lie 15 to 20 years ago, this just tells you that America is being sold out by their own people, and it's the money that speaks. It's the money that talks. The money is what's getting this stuff put together. And then not only that, they're changing the religion in the country. That's the big thing right there. To change the religion in a country it's one thing to have a different country come into a country. We've had Chinese and Vietnamese, and you got Mexicans and Colombian. We have all these, but when a whole different whenever a whole different culture comes in and it plants down their religion and basically just waging a crusade, but not just a crusade. They're able to be in positions of power, Senate and Congress, wave their flags, and your own countrymen are selling you out like, bro, America is not doing too well. Like I say, Trump is simply postponing the inevitable, in my opinion.
Entire world about.
I could be wrong, but that's what's going on. Like he's postponing the inevitable. I mean, because he can only do so much in like the 4-year term that he has. Plus, we got midterms coming up, and I've already talked about. Hopefully, nobody takes him out before prior to midterms, because the Simpsons made a prediction of Trump being unalived, and I hope that don't come true. Oh, I hope that don't come true, because Simpsons is always right. But let's just hope for the best. But with midterms coming up, and then like if you think about it, if we had the situation in Minnesota with Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar and Jacob Fry and all them fools over there in Minnesota, they only got popped because that Nick Shirley kid and Trump is in office. That's the only reason why something's happening. If Kamala Harris would have won, Tim Walz was going to be the vice president of the country. And he is the governor of Minnesota, which we seen all sorts of shit go haywire with fraud. You think he would have said anything? No, it would have expedited the process. So that's why I say Trump is just slowing down the inevitable, buying you time. He's just buying you time to get your ass out of a situation that is about to happen, in my opinion. I don't want it to happen, but it's like, if Americans are selling out Americans, bro, what can you do at that point? You know what I mean? They're going for the dollar. All right. And we're going to go to another dude. This dude, his name is David Wood, and he spoke on this situation that was going on in Dearborn years ago. I'm going to let him tell it to you so you can get an understanding. So we just saw a footage of Dearborn from 15 to 20 years ago. They were already talking about Islam moving in over there, which, as we see, it's happening. But we're going to show David Wood. David Wood's going to break down and show you his viewpoint on what he's been trying to tell people as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look. Here we go.
About this 15, 16 years ago, what we were exposing. I told the entire world about this 15, 16 years ago. What we were exposing was that they didn't want Christians evangelizing Muslims, but they couldn't just make a rule saying Christians aren't allowed to distribute materials. So they just made a rule and they said no one's allowed to hand out materials, but then they only enforced it on Christians.
All right, David Wood, I'm not actually going to go into the festival right now because we know automatically they're going to lock us up no matter what we do. It's just the way of life here in Dearborn. We brought a case of copies of the Gospel of John in English and Arabic. We try standing outside of the festival and handing some of them out. I suspect they're going to stop us even then. Look at this. They weren't here 3 minutes. Whoa. Turn off the camera. Okay. Okay, and you're going to have to walk with me. I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. As you just saw, two of my friends tried to distribute copies of the Gospel of John in English and Arabic, and they were stopped immediately outside the festival. They photographed us. They took our IDs, took our camera. They let us go and just explain the rules to us. But what the rule is, it seems, is not that you can't distribute copies of the Gospel of John inside the festival. It also applies outside the festival. They told us we would have to go at least 5 blocks away if we wanted to distribute anything. So this is getting very interesting, Dearborn. Let's look at some of the places where you are not free to hand out information on a public sidewalk here in Dearborn.
I'm on the corner of Kingsley and Warren, and I just want to say that I will be arrested in Dearborn, USA, on the corner of Kingsley and Warren if I hand this out.
I'm on the corner of Warren and Embanon. I'm a former Muslim, and I am not free to give a gospel of Jesus Christ here in Dearborn.
If I were to take this gospel of Jesus Christ and hand it out to anyone on the street, I will be put in jail again.
Well, now I'm about 1 trillion miles away. If I walk a little bit past this intersection, I will finally have the freedom here on a public street in the United States of America to hand out a copy of the gospel. That's where
The dude said, if I hand out a copy of the Gospel of John, I will be put in jail again. Again. Like I said, he said this is 15, 16 years ago. So, and I don't even know if this is like recent this could have, what is it? What are we in? So what, that would have been what, 2010? They were having this issue back in 2010. They were going through this. So as you can see, this has been a thing that's been going on. If you're just seeing this now and they've been doing this since 2010, you can only imagine how much has been conquered in 15 years. Think about that. Just think. Let this finish up. Tiny Aim, I got you. Give me 1 second.
I have to go. Name me any city in the United States where I could not stand on a public street outside the festival. You won't find one. But hope you pay attention to what's going on in America, because something's not right here.
Did you hear what he said? Name me any place that I cannot stand outside the street, outside the festival. Well, I can actually point you to one because I showed you one earlier. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Where is it? This right here. I just showed you this earlier. And we just saw this. We just saw this right here. Nick Shirley. Recently, this was what, 2025, when he got kicked off of a mosque in Texas. This is what I just showed you. And he's over here. Whoops. Where is this at? There it goes. He's talking about this situation back in 2010. He couldn't do this back in 2010. Now it's migrated. We got it in Texas, and he got kicked off the land. Watch.
There's also a big federal investigation, I think by the DOJ or by the FBI, as far as there was a concern that Sharia law may be taking place here, and they did a full, what? I'm not lying. I'm talking about the investigation that happened. I'm not lying. There was an investigation. They found that no Sharia law was taking place with the investigation. What do you mean am I allowed to be here? Of course I'm allowed to be here.
No, you're not. Are you Muslim?
No.
This is property for the mosque. It's not for you.
Just like that. This is property for the mosque. This is not for you. So let's let him finish up.
they're implementing Sharia in a way that they could pass it off as they're not implementing Sharia. And now people are all of a sudden, hey, look, they got the call to prayer blasting over the loudspeaker. What's going on here?
Dearborn, Michigan will be most likely the next stop. We are planning to make a Dearborn Again tour, bring the whole crew out there. We're going to spread the gospel, ignite a fire within the believers, and just stand up, man. Stand up, speak out, be bold. They're bold enough to throw on their little call to prayer at 5 a.m. in the morning. Be bold enough to speak out against it. Be bold enough to pray in the streets. Be bold enough to glorify Christ in the middle of the streets, in the halls, just like they're loud enough to do what they're doing. You be loud too. Don't let Satan outdo you.
I told the...
All right, so as you can see, this has been going on for a while. This ain't no old news. This ain't something that's just started happening the other day or yesterday or nothing. This has been going on for a minute. So they're serious about what it is they're doing. And like since 2010, I mean, honestly, I've read the Muslim Brotherhood Pact of 1991 for North America to you. I read that whole thing to you. I did a whole stream. You can find it. I read it to you since 1991. Now, what's ironic is that in 1991, that's the same year the USSR dissolved. And then magically there's a pact for the North American Muslim Brotherhood in 1991. And it's going according to plan. You know what I mean? And Tiny Aim here, I don't know if you're still here, but I'll answer your question. He said, what is your take on ICE? My take on ICE is going to be this. So the way everything started out with the ICE situation, it was that kid I just showed you, Nick Shirley. He went over to Minnesota, found out that there was some Somali fraud going on. Once he found that out, and then it opened up this can of worms where we started to see, like, hold up, there's a whole thing of fraud going on, and it's a organized crime of fraud going on across the entire country. So what happened was the Somali people, some of the Somali people were going on TikTok. They were mocking. They were like, ha ha, you taxpayers, you white people, you white boys, you guys get to pay for me living. I don't have to work. I get paid for free and you can't deport me. I'm American. They were taunting, right? They were taunting. So then it gets on Trump's radar. So then they open up the fraud, they open up the investigation. They find out that a lot of people are getting paid hundreds, they're getting tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of fraud is going on. And these people are getting checks cut from the state, cut from the government. And it's not just immigrants, and it's not just immigrants. It's Americans. It's people in the Democrat. It's probably Republicans too, but mainly the Democrat Party, the immigrants. And immigrants could be from all backgrounds. This could be Mexican immigrants. This could be Somali immigrants. This could be Iranian immigrants. This could be Armenian immigrants. This could be Russian immigrants. It could be any immigrant. It doesn't matter. But it turns out that the fraud just opened up a can of worms and showed that it's everywhere. So then now ICE comes around and is deporting people who are here illegally who didn't go through the process. Now, this is the thing. Not only is it that, but we also have crimes that happen from immigrants as well, from a lot of people who have went to jail and court. And when we see crimes that people have committed, we've noticed that some are immigrants, and we've noticed that the people who are committing these crimes, they're having like 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 arrests and getting let back out on the street. So which then shows you the judicial system is corrupt on top of that. So these people are able to commit all these crimes, but the judicial system is letting them back out with all these crimes. So now you got people who are getting killed and stuff like that. Some are immigrants, some are not, but I think majority of them turn out to be immigrants. So when ICE comes onto the picture and ICE just says, you know what, look, clearly we have an issue with our borders being open. So they're trying to stop illegal people coming in and sending them back to their country. America does not stop people from coming to America. America has a process that you go through where you can legally come into the country, and you go through this legal process to come in. What's been happening is the borders are opening, so people are coming in illegally and they're getting paid by the government, by the Americans who are selling out the Americans in the government system, and they're getting paid to live for free while the Americans are getting screwed. So then we get inflation, our prices go up, our food go up, our rents go up, our mortgages go up, our property taxes go up, our schools get demoted because the kids are not as smart, so they have to bring the education level down. So it's a huge ordeal that has a huge snowballing effect. So in the grand scheme of things, the purpose of a government is to protect your borders and to also protect your private property. If the government chooses not to protect your borders, it does not give a shit about its citizens. Flat out. End of story. You're seeing that happening over in Europe right now. So if the government don't give a damn about letting anybody come in, and they're just giving money to the highest bidder, but screwing over its citizens and not putting its citizens first, then it's not protecting its borders. The one of the main purposes of the government, protect private property and to secure your borders. If it's not doing that, the government is not doing what it's supposed to do. That's the purpose of a government. That's the main thing. So with ICE comes in and is deporting people who are illegal, and yes, there are going to be casualties, there are going to be mistakes, and all that stuff is going to happen. However, in the process of this happening, you also get a new situation that we've never seen happen in America before. What started out as ICE deporting illegals has now turned into white people fighting white people, which I ain't ever seen for as long as I have ever been in America, is white people fighting white people. I mean, so now there's this whole new fight happening on top of that. So it's like, what the hell is going on? So now you have whites fighting whites, but they don't want to go too hard on their own kind, which makes sense. I mean, who really does? But that's a story for another day. So they're protecting the immigrants, but the white people who are fighting the other white people are fighting on behalf of, they hate white supremacy, and they think that this country, they saying that this country that was founded by illegals are blocking illegals from coming in. They say this country that was found off of corruption should not have no issue letting illegal people come into the country, because they feel that white supremacy is in the country, and since white supremacy can rage hate along, then why can't we let immigrants in? And these arguments are coming from white people against white people. That's where these arguments are come from. Yeah, you hear some black people say that, but black people don't move the needle. It's white on white crime right now, which is crazy, but I'm just like, oh shit, this shit's getting real. So with that happening, underneath all of this, you got Islam infiltrating and moving in chess pieces and chess moves as all this goes on to hit checkmate. So to answer your question, what do I think about ICE? According to what a government is supposed to do, ICE is doing the right thing. According to what governments are supposed to do, protecting borders, they're doing the right thing. Are there casualties? Is this a WWE stage play? Because sometimes I watch this and I'm like, man, are they really trying to protect the borders, or are they just putting on a stage play to make people feel a certain way? Because I always say the inevitable is going to happen. But as far as what the ICE is supposed to do, as far as come in and protect the borders, that's what they're for. Their immigration, immigration customs enforcement, that's what they're supposed to do. they're supposed to enforce that. So if you stop that and you stop people from coming in illegally, that's a crime. So therefore, they're doing what they're put there to do. Is that not what CBP do, not ICE? Customs Border Patrol. Yeah, Customs Border Patrol is supposed to do that, but clearly they're not doing it. That's the thing. They're supposed to stop them at the border, but they're not. They're getting past that. So it's like, if they not gonna do it, then I guess they got to bring in these people to do it. That's the issue. So it is what it is. There's nothing that you can really do about it at this point. Everything's chaotic and going out of control. So with this happening, like I said, Trump is just is postponing the inevitable. And as we keep going, you're going to see that these people right here are slowly but surely, I'm going to show you, they're slowly but surely infiltrating and putting themselves in positions of Congress and Senate like you see here. And let's just take a look at how they're doing this. So here we go. Check this out.
David Wood, who was arrested for doing a Christian interview at a Muslim event in 2010 in Dearborn, Michigan, and reached a settlement with the city in 2013 where Dearborn had to apologize to you and keep that apology on the Dearborn website for 3 years. Sir, how does it feel today to see this?
It's not surprising at all. It's not, I mean, they were forced to, because they'd been sued in court, they were forced to deal with it. They also had to pay us a few $100,000 over that. But yeah, I mean, the way it makes me feel is, hey, I was telling you guys this about 15 years ago. I was telling you this in 2009, 2010, 2011, what was going on in Dearborn, the kinds of things that police were doing, the kinds of things that other people in the community were doing. If they didn't like you talking to a Muslim on a public street, they would call the police. And we're sitting here thinking, what? No one's breaking a law. Why are you calling the police? And the police would make sure that you stopped whatever it was you were doing.
And you hear that right there, and yeah, Aim, you're right. From the outside looking in, it doesn't look pretty. That's for sure. No, it don't look pretty, and it's not pretty. It's not. It's slow. It's a slow decline that's coming. It's inevitable. You can't stop it. It's gonna happen. It may, like I said, it just gets slowed down, but it's going to happen. And as I get further in the show, you're gonna see what I mean, because it's more and more and more and more prevalent the deeper I go into the show, and you're gonna see. And what he just said with the videos that I showed you, the police are enforcing they're enforcing this over its citizens, I guess you could say. Well, I mean, I guess you could say they're citizens too, but you know, America thrives on, let me pull this up. America thrives on inclusion and harmony and everything, but they're not being harmonious and they're not including everyone, as we just saw. It's like, if you're not Muslim, you can't be over here. But America is like, look, everybody can practice their faith and be free and live harmonious. And they're like, no, we're coming over here with planting our flag. If you ain't one of us, then basically screw you. That's what they're doing. So, and the police are backing it up. But it's like, it's a free country, freedom of speech, and everybody should be able to live harmonious, but it's not working out that way. So you're right. From the outside looking in, it ain't looking good, and you're right. And it's not going to end up well, because there's so much confusion. You got, you know, and like I said, when you look at it with the whole ICE thing, you're seeing white people fight white people, which is crazy. It's crazy work. That's one of the craziest things. I'm like, they really out there fighting each other. Like, it's really them rioting and fighting each other. And I'm just like, damn. But then you dig deeper and you realize that they're paid. A lot of these people are paid oppositions. They're paid to go out there and protest. They're paid to push the agenda of whatever side that they're on. Even though the far left side belief system does not jive with Islam policies. And you already saw Islam kick people off their land, but you know damn well they're not going to have no left-wing liberals on they plot of land. They don't jive with their policies. You know what I mean? But let's keep going. Here we go.
And so, yeah, we made a bunch of videos back then. We were attacked at one festival. We got arrested at another festival, and
they settled.
We were told we were the problem, right? Well, why are you guys going around talking to them? Why are you guys showing up to their city and bothering them? And
wait, hold on. They said their city?
Yeah.
Wow. So, you know, I want to get back to the terror attack that was just thwarted there, and what I said earlier, which was the lack of willingness sometimes to self-police their own in situations like this. Something you've been warning about for 15 years, but these are coming out of districts that are predominantly run by people who seek the similar ideology as far as, you know, the religion of Islam, and yet we're not seeing internal policing.
Oh, yeah, and I can tell you how bad this is. People don't know this, but and we only heard this. I heard this from a woman, and two of my friends who also got arrested with me. They heard it from the guy who was doing our mug shots, because he did our mug shots separately and was talking to them separately. But they were talking to him, and they were saying, you don't see how messed up it is that we're being arrested for having a discussion on a public street? We were standing there having discussion. Guys were asking us questions about the Bible, and you show up and lock us up. You don't see a problem with that? And the guy who took the mugshots said, not to me, said to my two friends, but separately, he said, you don't have to tell me how many problems there are here. There are girls who get their heads chopped off and no one ever hears about it. It never makes it into the media. Oh, and by the way, if you ever bring this up, I will deny that I ever said it.
Yeah, there's that. Golly. Bro said that, man, there's people who get their heads chopped off and they don't make it to the news, bruh. So that's Dearborn, Michigan. And just to show you this thing that I just showed you with David Wood, that was from 3 months ago. That's 3 months ago. And here's an image of Dearborn, Michigan. It shows right here, 40,000 people filled the Dearborn streets for, and I can't see what that is, but that's Dearborn, Michigan right there. That's just to give you an idea of what it looks like. This is Dearborn, Michigan. In United States, not one United States flag, bruh. That is Dearborn, Michigan, straight up. So America may not, I don't know if America even notices it. Like he said, this has been going on for what, 15 years? He said 15 years ago he's been waving this. 15, 20 years ago, although they had the Muslim Brotherhood Pact of 1991 for North America, they caught it in like 2006, 2008 or some shit like that. He's saying from back in 2010, he was talking about this stuff, and America is at war, but they don't see it as a war because it's at the voting polls and it's economic. That's the thing. It's like there's different war tactics. You can have like chemical warfare, economic warfare, physical warfare that we all know of, like Call of Duty. You could have what's the other one? Like a social media type warfare. I forget what you would call that one. But you have different kinds of warfare that's being implemented. And then you also have I don't know what to call this. Immigration or citizen warfare, where they're changing the demographic of the country by allowing immigrants and illegals in, and then turn around and then giving them citizenship to completely change the demographic of a country. So that's a different kind of warfare tactic. These are all warfare tactics that we're seeing. America's at war, 100%. There's no way around it. You can't deny it. There's no way around it. America's at war. It's just like people for some reason can't see it. It's like a different feel of warfare that they're not used to. They don't get it. They don't know how to react to it because half of America or 30 or 40% of America is on board with it. Like the left side, the Democrats, the liberals, they're on board with it happening. So you know what I mean? You're fighting within, but then you're also fighting foreign invaders from within, but then you're also fighting the economy of the Americans, selling out Americans from within. It's just a bunch going on at once. It's a lot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move over and we're going to go to New York. We're going to go take a look at what's happening in good old New York City. And we're going to look at inside the first Muslim majority city in the United States. This was published, or this was put on the internet 9 years ago. So we're going to look into the first Muslim majority city in the United States. This was from 9 years ago up in New York City. So here we go. Or should I say New York?
Trends at the Polish Village Cafe. It's Friday afternoon, and the most popular restaurant in Hamtramck, Michigan, is filling up. The patrons at the Polish Village Cafe are almost entirely Polish Americans who have been coming here for decades.
They have grandmas, they were Polish, and they came from Poland, and they cooked, and they're now no longer living, and they remember how grandma used to cook. They come here and it reminds them of that.
When Hannah Golick started working here in the 1970s, the population of this Detroit suburb.
I'm sorry, this is in New York. This is Hamtramck, Michigan. I'm sorry, Hamtramck, Michigan. So we just did Dearborn, Michigan. Now we're doing Hamtramck, Michigan, America's only Muslim majority city. Hamtramck, Michigan. This was published 9 years ago.
Known as Little Warsaw, was 90% ethnically Polish. Now it's just over 10%. Some moved out, but more so others moved in, specifically Muslim immigrants. Over the last few decades, new arrivals from Yemen, Bangladesh, Iraq, and other countries. Hamtramck is now said to be the U.S.'s first Muslim-majority city, and following a win in a recent election for Yemen-born Saad al-Masmari, Hamtramck now has the first Muslim-majority city council.
This is the real land of opportunity. I came in 2009. Here I am, a city councilor in one of the cities. So this is the real opportunity that I have. I respect America. I love America. America is my home, and I'm going to work generously for America.
All right, as you can see, Hamtramck, Michigan. Now, they just mentioned it here, but I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside. It's going to show Hamtramck, Michigan. It hosts the only entire Muslim city government in the United States. This is 3 years ago. So we're going to look at, let me see. Let me make sure I got the right city this time. Let's see. I just did John reports from the city. Yeah. So now that was 9 years ago. Okay. So we're going to look at the same place, Hamtramck, Michigan. Okay. But now we're going to look at it and it's going to say, and I don't know if this changed within 3 years, but 3 years ago, Michigan hosts only entirely Muslim city government in U.S. Let's take a look. Here we go.
The city of Hamtramck puts a new face on representative government in America. For a century, it was a Polish-American enclave in Michigan, surrounded by the city of Detroit. Now, a wave of new immigrants from Yemen, Bangladesh, Pakistan has eroded the dominance of Warsaw. In 2013, the city became majority Muslim.
In 2013, it became majority Muslim. To see how long this has been going on for. And now you're hearing a call to prayer played out on the overhead speaker in this city. And this is 3 years old.
A call to prayer echoes past the Gothic spires of Catholic churches, and the aromas of Poland mingle with the scents of the East. This year, for the first time, the mayor and all 6 members of its city council are Muslim, the only entirely Muslim city government in the United States. Mayor Amr Ghalib says Hamtramck's tale is the latest evolution of the story of America.
The American dream is alive, and the doors of opportunities are open for everyone. And I came as an immigrant in high school. After I finished 11th grade in Yemen, and did all my schoolings here, and now I'm the mayor of the city.
The mayor echoes
That man said the American dream is here for everyone. I'm like, bruh, do you mean everyone? Stop all that lying. He lied his ass off. That shit ain't for everyone. That shit is for Muslims only. Oh boy. Yes, sir. So we looked at Texas, we looked at Dearborn, Michigan, we looked at Hamtramck, Hamlick, whatever, Michigan. That's what 2. That's north and that's south. Now we're going to go. This was published 6 years ago. Okay, we're going to another section of the United States. This is going to be Brooklyn, New York. Okay, this is Brooklyn, New York. 6 years ago, this video was posted. So we're going to see a guy. He's going to be walking down the street, and we're going to see what he hears in downtown Brooklyn, New York. Well, let's take a look. And you can tell this is authentic video because Buddy looks like he got his old camera phone walking down the street. And you're going to hear him talking, and we're going to see what he hears in Brooklyn, New York, at least from 6 years ago, or at least when this was published. So let's go ahead and pull this one up. And now we're moving over to New York. So here we go. Let's check it out.
I am downtown Brooklyn, U.S. West, Saudi Arabia. Listen, y'all hear that? Downtown Brooklyn. Right in the middle of downtown Brooklyn. Y'all hear that? I want y'all to hear this in the middle of downtown Brooklyn. You'll think it's Saudi Arabia or Syria. What's up, Tony? Hey, brother. Listen, brother, see what you hear. Sound like Saudi Arabia. Y'all sending me laughing faces. See?
All right, so it's clear as day. That show June of 2019. They said that the mayor put that in policy, and it's been going on for at least a year since that was put since that video played. So 2018, that's been going on out there in Brooklyn, New York. So as you can see, this is not a new thing. This is a thing, and they're planting their flag. And America's facing the war, and this is what's happening. This is what's going on. It's not a new thing. Now, it's weird when you look at it, because when you don't own the I'm reading something else. It's weird when you look at it because it showed earlier in Texas a dude got kicked off of private property because he was not Muslim. So when you look at it from that angle, it makes you wonder if property keeps getting owned, subdivisions keep getting built, schools keep getting put up, markets, food places keep getting put up. Will it get to the point where you won't be able to buy or sell in their area because you're not a part of their religion? Because if so, that sounds like something I've heard before out of biblical text, but I'm going to get to that later. Let's take a look at another Muslim call to prayer in New York. Considered a bridge of coexistence, allegedly. This is 2 years ago. So we're going to take a look at another one. This is going to be another situation in New York. Let's take a look 2 years ago at another Muslim call to prayer happening in New York. Let's take a look.
Big step, clarifying that the call to prayer can be broadcast every Friday from any mosque, and during the holy month of Ramadan, no permit necessary.
We are committed to giving you the recognition you deserve.
The adhan soon resonated throughout the prayer room of New York Islamic Center, the largest and most iconic mosque of Manhattan in New York City.
In particular, the young Muslims of New York will be very much inspired and connected with their tradition, with the mosques, and feel even more valued and appreciated.
About 3.45 million Muslims live in the United States. Approximately 22.3% of America's Muslims live in New York City. The Muslim community is rapidly growing on account of immigration, reproduction, and conversion.
And this is what happens when you open up your borders, to be quite honest. This is it. I mean, you're allowing yourself to be conquered by another country. This is all this is. You know what I mean? Like people don't have to come and wage war against you. They'll just walk right in the front door, and then, they'll have money, and then they could just pay off the Americans, the traders in your country that will sell everybody else out for $1. That's what's happening. That's all that is. Somebody got enough money, and it's like, look, if you vote this way, we'll pay you this much money. And it's like, cool, I don't mind selling out my fellow Americans for $1. And that's what happens. That's all it is. That's really what it is. And then you spend some propaganda and some media and some stuff, and then it's all a simple game. It's nothing hard to figure out. This is just what happens. country or religion, which one are we talking about? Both. I'm talking about both because they got their religion in the country. So it's both. It's not just one, it's both. Both are happening. They're bringing their religion over. And as they bring their religion in, you know what I mean, they're also infiltrating the country by putting themselves in places of Senate and Congress as well. They're doing both. They aren't the same, but they are both happening. They're both happening. It doesn't matter what's the same. They're both happening. Whether it's the religion or country, they're taking over both. That's what's happening. And here we're going to look at what's his name? Don't mess with the Zohan, the mayor of New York, Zohan Mandami. I like to call him Don't Mess with the Zohan. When he won, we had a liberal woman. She had made a post and she celebrated Mandami winning. Listen to what she says when Mandami won. Check this out. Here we go. This is when Mandami won. This is what liberal women in New York City, at least some of them, are thinking. Here we go.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam. Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam.
So it's gonna happen at some point eventually. Just give it time, and I mean it'll like I said, just 20, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40. It's gonna just slowly infiltrate and get bigger and greater, and it's gonna become dominant as time goes on, simply because when you look at the religion aspect of it, the Muslim people, they have more babies. Right now, the people of America, the American population or whatever, is declining more. I mean, I guess the Mexican population is increasing because the Mexicans are having babies like crazy, or the Latino community is having babies like crazy. And you could say, I mean, they're part of Americans too. But as far, you know, the Christian Americans, I guess you could say, you can couple Latinos in with that as well. But America's population is declining. People are not having as many babies, but the Muslim population, they're having babies. You know what I mean? They have no problem having babies and having kids whatsoever. So it's not an issue. So as time goes on, you know, they're having 3, 4, and 5 kids per family easily. So when it comes to the voting poll, it's no issue to vote in your own people. It's not going to be a competition anymore, because now when it comes to voting, you're going to be able to vote your people in. And whatever direction your people choose to take the country, that's which way it's going to go. Your religion and your voting is going to dictate the country, because in due time, your children are going to grow up. And that's what it seems like is going to happen as time progresses. It just seems like it's going to go in that direction as time keeps going on. That's just what it seems like. It just seems like we're going in that direction. You really can't deny it. I mean, they're doing a good job. I can't knock them. They're doing a damn good job. They are. And it's happening globally, but I'm just talking about America for now. So next, we're going to look at Maine, the state of Maine. This is Maine. This said it was produced in 2015, but this clearly looks older than 2015 when I pull it up for you. But at least it was, you know what? No, this is older than 2015, but the guy put it up on 2015, but this looks hell of a lot older than 2015. But we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what's going on in Maine as far as how the Muslim community is moving in. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and see how far back this goes and what's been going on in the state of Maine. So here we go. We got Maine. Let's go.
Finally tonight, a population explosion that virtually no one could have predicted. But it is transforming a very small corner of the world. Here's ABC's Ron Claiborne.
These young Africans are reading the Quran, a tradition that is centuries old in their homeland, Somalia. But this is not Somalia. This is Lewiston, Maine, a faded textile town in one of the whitest states in America. Just a year and a half ago, there were no Somalis in this city of 36,000. Today, there are over 1,200.
That a group from Africa would suddenly show up on our doorstep was really a surprise. It seems like a shot out of the blue.
You feel, as a Somali, welcome here?
Yeah.
When a vicious civil war devastated Somalia in the 90s, thousands of refugees fled to the United States. Many settled in the Atlanta area, where the crime rate was high and the housing too expensive.
Life in a big city is difficult. It's stressful. Access, to services and to employment is very difficult.
When the first Somali...
All right, so as you can see, so there was them implementing their way into Maine. They said it was like a town of 36,000, and then they ended up with like 1,200 in like a year, however long they said. But as we go on and as time progresses forward, as you can see, like I said, that was old. That could have been 2005, 2010. I don't know how old that was. That looked old, but that was then. That was Maine then. So now we move up the needle and we go to the year 2018 in the same state of Maine. And now we're going to take a look at the Maine refugees that were in Maine. So let's take a look at how the progress has been made from back then and move up the needle to 2018 in the state of Maine. Let's see how they look as time progresses, and let's see the progression that they make. Here we go, state of Maine.
I am tired of the division of people dividing us. We must work together because after all, we're not going anywhere. We're here to stay whether you like it or not. Thank you.
We're not going anywhere. This is our town. This is our place.
I'm here to say that Lewiston and Auburn is colorful because of us.
But when you see that Lewiston has been put on a map of the state of Maine, even on the map of the country, just because of these colorful people, because of these individuals.
Because of us, the state of Maine is great. Because of us, city of Lewiston is good.
The idea of being an American and being integrated is the fact that I have the guts and the ball to stand here tonight and demand change. The change we ask today is not just for Lewiston, it's for everybody, whether you're brown or blue eyes.
We're the most resilient people and courageous people that you can ever meet.
There is no way we can talk about the future of our city, of our state, without involving these immigrants. It's practically impossible.
I just, I didn't want to speak, but I got up because sometimes I feel like, I get offended sometimes, which is not very easy for me to get offended.
One thing comes to my mind, and that's integration. We ask very often all immigrants, whether they're refugees or asylum seekers, to integrate, and even sometimes to assimilate and lose who they are.
Because after all, we're not going anywhere. We're here to stay, whether you like it or not. Thank you.
All right. Well, there's the state of Maine. So Maine is Maine is basically, yeah, Maine has their share of Muslims in Maine too. So it's all over. It's happening in every single place that you see. I mean, and it's slowly but surely, and it's not just coming over to integrate. They assimilate and they're planting their flag down, and they're taking over wherever they go. They're not integrating, it's a takeover. Integrating some places, but others it's a takeover. So as time progresses and time goes on, and it's not just me saying this, because there's going to be a guy I'm going to show you later on in the film, and in the show, and he's going to explain Christianity in Islam, how they bullied the continent of Africa, and he's going to actually put into words on how both religions do it in their own fashion. So it's not just picking on one, but I'm just speaking on one, but he's going to go over both of them. All right. All right, so now we have Atlanta. All right, moving over to Atlanta, the dirty South, next to well, not next to Texas, but a few states down from us. So now we're gonna look at Atlanta. All right, so we have hundreds in Atlanta for Muslims and refugees. We're gonna take a look at what's going on in Atlanta. This is 8 years ago when this was posted. 8 years, and I'm pretty sure Atlanta has been known probably for Islam for a while, but I'm just pointing out like how it's all over the place and how it's being planted. You know what I mean? It's not 100% being assimilated. It's being like planted as like this is their place and not like a harmonious living environment. Maybe in Atlanta it might be different, but let's take a look at what's going on in Atlanta. This is 8 years ago, hundreds in Atlanta rally. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Few minutes, Channel 2's Steve Galbach is live on what's happening now. Hundreds are gathering for an interfaith rally in Midtown Atlanta to protest the president's actions. Now, this rally started in the last few minutes. Channel 2's Steve Galbach is live on Peachtree Street. And Steve, you're seeing a huge crowd there.
Yeah, a few hundred people so far, Sophia. More than 2,000 responded on the Facebook page for this rally. And we want to show you what's going on right now. They just started the program with some singing. You have crowds gathered here with signs. Still people filing in here. We're at Redeemer Lutheran Church on Peachtree Street. They had to move this here from originally plans were in Clarkston, and there are going to be personal stories here from refugees, their families, different pastors. You have a rabbi, an imam, a reverend, all speaking at this event from interfaith, different religions, really because they do want to react to President Trump's executive order.
There were so many people that were reaching out and just wanted to show their support. So we thought, why not put together an event for people to actually come out and show their support and be able to contribute back. We have some refugee organizations that are going to be here today to take donations, to solicit volunteers. So I think this will be a great opportunity for people to really figure out what it is that they can do to help.
And part of that help, they say, is taking action. And part of that is these letter writing efforts going on right now. These are going to be letters people are addressing to President Donald Trump.
Okay, so they're trying to get refugees safety in Atlanta during that time, and at that time, this was Trump's first term, I believe.
And the first ever Atlanta.
Whoops. This was Trump's first term that they were doing that to, and they were trying to basically get the refugees in Atlanta. So what was that? Trump's first term was, what is this, 4 or 5? So like 6, 7, 8 years ago. So that was his first time in Atlanta. So again in Atlanta now, this is 6 months ago. So now that was 8 years ago when they were fighting for the refugees and what was it? Muslim refugees or Muslims and refugees to have a rally to, basically get them in and fight against Trump during his first term. So now we look in Atlanta currently, which is 6 months ago, and we're going to look at the first ever Atlanta Summer Halal Food Festival held in Atlantic Station 6 months ago. Let's take a look.
And the first ever Atlanta Summer Halal Food Festival was held this weekend. People visited Atlantic Station to celebrate Muslim culture and taste the food from more than 50 different vendors. We spoke with one of the vendors who hopes the festival will help grow his business.
We also cater to some of the Asian stores, and our plan is to become more mainstream and supply to some of the bigger chains in the Atlanta market and then grow. Our focus is in the Southeast region, so we supply to Georgia, Florida, Carolinas, Alabama, and hopefully growing into other markets.
And our very own First Alert meteorologist Isaac Williams stopped by to taste all of that delicious food out there. I was not there, but I feel like you can verify the food was really good.
All right, so there we go. We got Atlanta right there. Got their thing going on. And let's see here. We got, Tiny Aim. He said, I was doing some digging, and the current breakdown of religion is that Christianity in the United States is over 60%, and then non-Christian religions is about 7%. Okay. Is that of 2026? Is that the breakdown for 2026, or what year is that breakdown? You said it's current, so I'm assuming it's 2026. No. I'm not going against it, or if it's current or if it's not. However, what I'm saying is, as time goes on, who's having more children? That's the thing. Who's having more kids? Right now, who's having more kids? If Christian families are only having like 1 to 2 kids, and other religions, or we'll say Islam in perspective, is having like 3 and 5 and 7. Like, give it 20 years, give it 30 years. You can see this coming from a mile away is what I'm saying. Like, it's coming down the pipeline and from a mile away. It's gonna happen as time goes on. You're not gonna be able to stop it. It may not seem like much now, but you can see it coming, because they're putting themselves and they're lining themselves up in powerful positions and powerful roles. Like I said, Senate and Congress and things like that, and mayors and governors and stuff like that, which is fantastic. They're able to pull that off. But again, like I say, you have where the hell's the other video I was going to show? I'm trying to find this last video that I had for the last state. Yeah, but you have like them putting themselves in positions of power. So it's very it's whenever their children grow up, they're able to also keep that voting power in their direction and in, you know, their favor as time goes on. So maybe now it's say 7%, but I don't know what year that is. I don't know if that's 2026. I don't know what year you have that. You said current, but I don't know for sure. But just let me know. We got one more section of the country we're gonna look at. We're gonna look at California. All right, California. This one's gonna be a little different. So we're going to look at. Oh crap! What did I just do? I moved something out the way. We're gonna look at California, but we're gonna look at California in a different light. But it's gonna help shine some understanding as to what's help flaming and what could be help funding this particular situation for all immigrants. And we're going to look at California, and it's America's fraud which is what's going on. We're going to look at an intro of a video and just get an idea of what's going on and to get a piece of the fraud that's happening financially that's going on in California, but it's happening all over the United States in all states, damn near probably at this point, and how the American government and the states are funding immigrants and other people to basically live. So we're going to take a look at this right now. So it's going to speak on California, but just take this and branch it out to the rest of the country, happening in every state. So here we go. Let's take a look.
I'm here in Los Angeles. We're talking about fraud. This place has become one of the epicenters for fraud, waste, and abuse in America. $3.5 billion just here in Los Angeles County, we think, around hospice and home health care.
So the federal government has opened up a new front in America's war on fraud. And it's brought them to California, where the scams ripping off our country not only mirror those found in Minnesota, like fake daycare centers, but expand upon those schemes with brand new ones, which, as you're about to see, are even worse.
Man was contracted with the city and county of Los Angeles to house and feed up to 600 homeless people, but instead he was misusing tens of millions of dollars to live a luxurious life.
How is accountability measured by the state?
It's how many volunteers you have, what the weather is like. It's, there's been a lot of, so it's an imperfect process, and I'm not naive about that.
These fraudsters, and these do tend to be foreign influences. These are Russian Armenian gangs, mafia, that are leading a lot of these efforts, we believe, have been able to corrupt and work with doctors who are willing to lie.
California has spent $24 billion in the last 5 years on homelessness, and no one can account for where that money has really gone for. So the first thing I did was set up that task force, and all we did is follow the money.
We are seeing real progress, and we are investing in what we know works.
What we have witnessed is a 7-fold increase in hospice in LA County. 7-fold. That doesn't happen naturally.
Exactly. That doesn't happen naturally. Why? Because Americans are selling out Americans. I keep trying to tell you, bro. They selling out Americans, and it is not looking too shabby. Now, again, that's California. take what they just said and put that all over the country. Put that all over the country. You know what I mean? They said you had Russians and Armenians and all that. Put that all over the country. It is bad. It's just like, man. And like I say, the only thing that's slowing it down is Trump. That's the only thing. He's postponing it. Because once you get a Democrat up in that office or up in that presidency, boy, it's a rap ski. But the crazy thing is that the mindset of the country is more liberal as far as the lower parts go, like your judges, your county offices and clerks and teachers and stuff like that. The majority of the country minded is liberal. You know what I mean? The teachers lean that way. When immigrants come in, a lot of them would lean in that direction because then they can vote. You know what I mean? And push this agenda to go further. Just a lot of your small municipals have that Democrat liberal mindset going on. So, you know, people get jailed or go to jail for certain things and certain crimes. They get let back out or they get a slap on the wrist and nothing really happens to them. Nothing happens at all. And as a matter of fact, let me give you an idea of what I mean when I say judges are basically implicit to these crimes and are allowing this stuff to happen. Let me just give you and let me show you what I mean, because once you see it, it's gonna make sense. It's gonna be like, damn, they did that. Oh, they're gonna get locked up, and you're gonna realize all they get is on the wrist. That's it. That's all they're gonna see. I'm gonna show you this video right here. This video is gonna show you somebody who is trying to cash a fake check or something like that. I think they're trying to cash a fake check, or they're doing something fraud. They're doing something fake or something with the bank. And I believe the bank calls the cops and the cops show up. So let's take a look and see how this goes. And while this is going on, you're going to see a guy on the side. His name is the lead attorney. He's going to be reviewing this video. He's been an attorney for like 25 years. So he's actually going to give you an understanding and the breakdown of the law of what happens and what time and what sentence they got for their crime. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video and let's see what happens with this situation. So here we go.
The walk of shame, if she had any shame.
Officers were dispatched to a bank after a teller called police and reported that a group of people were attempting to cash a fraudulent check.
What's going on?
Hi, I got that check from my employer.
So you just came to cash a check from your employer?
Yeah.
Who's your employer?
It's a rent check.
A rent check?
Yes, it's for my rent.
Yeah, who's your employer though?
It's a rent check.
No, I get that. But you said it's from your employer, right?
Yeah.
So who's your employer?
I don't understand the problem.
Alrighty, we already see what is going on. We got Mother Teresa here who says that she's got a check from her employment. Looks like she's a receptionist at the Leering Center.
Well, it sounds like they think you might be trying to pass a bad check.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so I'm asking who's your employer? Like who gave you the check? It's for your rent.
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand my question?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know what's going on.
So I just told you, they called us because they think you're trying to pass a bad check.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. So I'm just trying to figure out if, you're saying it's just for rent and everything like that. I'm just asking who's your employer.
It's for rent.
Go ahead. I know. You didn't hear you're not getting my question? Well, the car that you came in with just got stopped by the state police trying to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably because you told them that we were here. So you want to tell me what's going on?
All right, the people that dropped her off just got stopped by the state police. Now this is lending confirmation that this is not a one-woman show. This is coordination. This is a scheme. This is a conspiracy.
Why'd you leave her in the bank?
No, I was going to use the bathroom. I still have to use the bathroom, like right now. But I had to get gas. Like if you see, my gas is on like 40 miles. I got like 40, 30 miles.
Yeah. Like I said before, I only know Ricky. Ricky asked me to come along on a road trip.
Ricky's this guy?
Right.
Okay.
I just found out his real name today.
Okay.
Oh my God. This lady says, hey, Ricky just asked me to come along to all of these banks, so I'm just along for the ride. And oh, by the way, I just found out his name today. None of this is making any sense. All right, so all four of these people apparently were charged with forgery and larceny. Now, Mother Teresa and the guy in the red there, they both pled guilty to conspiracy. They received 0 days in jail. The two people at the bottom, apparently they were the ringleaders of the scheme. They pled guilty to conspiracy and felony grade forgery. Now, as the ringleaders, when it came to their sentences, they received 0 days in jail. That's right, no jail time at all.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, committed all that damn crime and didn't get not one funky ass day in jail. Bruh. Oh my God. Is it DT a 32-time felon and seems to be getting a pass at the moment with DT? DT, what are you saying? DT, a 32-time felon? Donald Trump, isn't he a 32-time? Seem to be getting he's getting a pass at the moment because he slid into presidency, so he got some immunity for the moment. So he pulled a power play. he pulled a power play. But I mean, they had him. They got the dude mugshot and all that stuff. So I'm like, hey, I mean, but as you see right here, though, at this same video, we just saw cops pull up. These people got they got whatever the stuff he named right here at the very end. He named it. He said they got...
Apparently, they were the ringleaders of the scheme. They pled guilty to conspiracy and felony grade
forgery and conspiracy. And then the other people, they pled guilty to something else that they did was forgery and larceny, but they didn't get any jail time. They didn't get nothing at all. Nothing at all. And you could tell that these people are, from a different country. So it's just you're seeing it, and like, yeah, the president, all this stuff is going on, and nobody's getting no serious jail time. None. Like, no serious jail time. Like, everything is just kind of like a free for all. I'm not saying people ain't going to jail. That'd be foolish to say, but I mean, you go outside and pull forgery and larceny and conspiracy and pulling out felonies and trying to cash fake checks and frauds, and the police show up, they put you in cuffs and you don't get no jail time. I mean, like, and you come from a different country, like, you gonna be like, this is all they do over here? They gonna be like, well,
FYM, fuck y'all motherfuckers,
Yeah, screw y'all, we about to get rich over here. So, that's kind of like what it is. Yeah, so it's not looking too shabby. It's just not looking too shabby. It's just getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on, and it's just a slow cooker. It's a slow cooker. All right, and we're gonna take a look at we're gonna go back to the other video real quick, and we're gonna look at some more of whoops. Let me do that. We're gonna take a look at some more of
and
this.
what nobody's talking.
Shut up. Quit talking. We're going to look at this other video, just a little bit more of the California fraud that's going on, but that's unraveling to show you what's happening everywhere else. So we're going to go back to this video, look at a little bit of this, and then we're going to go over to the next thing. So let's go back to California for a brief second and take a look at some more of the fraud that's happening in California that happened to be worse than Minnesota.
Going on over there. That's just the tip of the iceberg. We're barely scratching the surface on fraud in this country. But as America watches the walls close in on Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar, California's governor has got to be terrified, as the same types of fraud operations there are not only being discovered in California, but seem to be much more numerous, with even less guardrails, allowing scammers a wide open backdoor into America's bank, where they steal billions every year. But backdoor.
I think this dude right here, later on they talk about him, and he got in trouble for fraud. It was like $16 million. Bro got 2 funky ass years in jail. 2 years in jail for $16 million for whatever fraud he got caught up with. I'm like, 2 years, $16 million? I mean, bruh. Donald J. Trump civil fraud cases are running at about 500 million. Is it really? Is that what it says on the internet? Is that what you put up on the internet? Is that what you got? Let me see. Let's see. Donald J. Trump. I shouldn't put DJT. I should put Donald Trump fraud cases. Is that true? Total amount. What do we have? Trump was convicted of 34. He was convicted, but he wasn't. Wait. Hold on. Convicted. Oh shit. Convicted. He's still battling the case. Okay, let's see. He's still what is this? This is May of 2025. Okay, so Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in New York across from 4 separate indictments between 23 and 25. He faces a total of 88 criminal counts. Additionally, his business have incurred significant penalties, including over $354 million for fraud. Jesus. Golly. Trump was convicted of 34 felonies a year ago. He's still battling the case. This is May of 2025. Let's see. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, as you can see, it's going crazy over here, bro. It's not looking too shabby. And they don't give me a date for this one. The Trump Organization faced over $450 million in penalties from a civil fraud case, with one record showing over $354 million for fraud. That's what they're looking at right here. This is what I'm looking at right here, what they have pulled up. Yeah, buddy. It's not looking too shabby over here. So that's crazy work. And like I said, this guy here, he got popped for 2 years. He got 2 years for $16 million. I'm like, damn, you got 16 million, got 2 years in jail. You could take 1 million of that, have a lavish life in jail, chilling, and then come out with 15 million in your pocket. After 2 years, you could use 1 year of you could use $500,000 a year, so 1 mil for 2 years, come out with 15 mil. I mean, of course, you probably still got to pay shit, but even though 2 years you get 10 mil out of it, even 2 years you get 10 mil out of it, like you still come out winning, bro. Like, golly. He said, and that is just one of them. I bet there are more. Yeah, that's just for him. Now we have all these politicians that are getting popped for fraud cases as well. Not just him. We have a bunch of other politicians that are in different counties and different states, different cities, are all getting popped for fraud cases. And then you got the criminal underworld organization rings that getting popped for. It's like it's a decline. And then when you look at all these fraud cases that are happening, that speeds up the inflation. That causes inflation in America. That's causing inflation. That's causing shit to increase. That's causing the dollar to be devalued. It's speeding it up exponentially, and everybody's doing it. It's crazy. And I bet there are as many Dems doing it also. I would say probably more Dems doing it, because everything that I've been showing you, with the open borders is a Democrat thing. The Democrats more likely want open borders. So when you see immigrants coming in, immigrants are getting funded from fraud and are getting not from fraud. When immigrants are getting funded from the government, they're getting funded from the government. Well, that's because the Democrats are letting them in because they're trying to let in a new voting class. They want a new voting class to come in, so they want to citizenize these new immigrants, so they have a new voting class that are going to keep voting Democrat the entire way. So yeah. so yeah. And then the Minnesota fraud that's going on with Tim Walz, what's his name, Jacob Fryer, and Ilhan Omar, the Somalian lady, they uncovered that she was like at $15,000, and then she got up to $30 million in 2 years. And then they uncovered that there was like billions of dollars in fraud happening in Minnesota, and then said in California that is even more than what Minnesota is. But Minnesota's the one that started off the ring trying to figure out what all this fraud was. So it's just going on like crazy. But while all this is going on, I always say that you have Islam putting themselves in check in perfect chess places and chess pieces on the board, getting ready to checkmate that ass, because the war, in my opinion, is happening from within, economically and at the voting poll. Because if you got the money, people are going to take the money and put you in position of power. Hence, think of this. I'm going to show you somebody I'm going to show you this guy that's Muslim. Somebody interviews him. Listen to his mindset, and then ask yourself how many of these people have this same mindset coming into this country. Check this out. Here we go.
Not even hiding it anymore. This Muslim here, they're not even hiding it anymore. This Muslim here in Dearborn, Michigan states that Muslims are here to destroy the American empire. Listen.
And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, the imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And inshallah they will fall. And my message to the people of Gaza and the oppressed peoples across the world is that there are people here, both young and old, who are going to be willing to fight and are willing to put their lives and everything they can on the line to bring these empires down, because they must come down.
If you like content like this, you'll love it.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's a mindset that's going in, and then who's to say that the mindset isn't being funded on both sides, on Republicans and Democrats? You know, who's also selling out the country. But when there's money involved, it's money involved. You know what I mean? It's money that's going to dictate everything. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do. Now, going to get to the main part I wanted to get to with this lady right here, who I really like. She's well versed on this topic right here. She goes by the name of Ayan. I'm gonna butcher her name. I'm gonna say her first and last name. Ayan Ali. It's Ayan Hersey. Ayan Hersey Ali. I think I said it right. She has been talking about what happens when a Muslim country comes in and plants its flag and basically, takes over a country, and the implications and consequences that a country faces when that happens. And she's well versed on this, and she's spoken on this for decades, and she's seen it. She's been through it, lived through it, and she tries to, she's been trying to warn of the situation happening and what's coming, because people don't really see it. But I'm going to let her break this down. And then after this ad pops up, she's going to sit down and she's going to break down how this works out and what people are to see and what to expect when this happens, because, it's never a pretty ending when it does happen. In America, the way we've lived our entire lives as far as capitalism goes, we don't know any other way. We don't know a socialist economy. We don't know a communist economy. We only know capitalism. But the more and more as we go on, we see socialism, because we start to notice that people are afraid to say certain words on YouTube, which is impeding of your freedom of speech. We see people are afraid to do and say more things on the internet, which is the impeding of your free speech. And you start to see slowly but surely people are, the rights are being eroded away. We've even seen in Miami, I forget who it was. It was a politician or something in Miami. Somebody said something about this politician in Miami, and that politician, because of the social media post, had the police go to that person's house about that social media post and question them about it. I was like, God dang, like, bruh, when did we get here? Because I know sometimes I be talking my shit, but boy, oh boy, when I saw that, I was like, man, don't come over here with that bullshit. We don't need that over here. Like, hell no. But it's slowly but surely impending. But Ayan Hersey Ali, she's gonna speak on she's basically gonna speak on the Somali immigrants, and she says they has a chilling warning for the West, but she's gonna give a very good breakdown. I enjoy her conversation because she's very well versed and well knowledged on Islam coming into a country. And again, when I speak on Islam, please don't think I'm talking about all Islams. It's like Christianity. You got good Christians, and then you got like your crazy liberal Christians. You got good Islam, but then you got radical Islam, which is like some crazy fuckers who are just as crazy as the liberal Christians. The radical Islams and the liberal Christians, to me, in my opinion, they're both Satanists because they ideology don't fall in it doesn't fall in any order. It's all about politics and power, which that's not how the faith should be ran. But That's just that's the way I see it, because the truth of it is, it's not based on faith, it's based off of man, politics, and power, which is wrong. But anyway, let's go ahead and put her up on the screen, and she's going to speak on the chilling warning that the Somali immigrants have for the West. So here we go. Let's let her take it away. Let me unmute her.
The question is, whenever it is convenient, the question is, how long is she going to survive? Because she cannot serve all of these masters at once.
So as somebody that grew up in Somalia, your first years in Somalia, underwent female genital mutilation, which you've written extensively about, then became really, I would say, a feminist in the true sense of the word, the original feminist sense of the word for equality, in the fighting for the West. You were also one of the first people that I ever heard talking about the sort of red-green alliance and the sort of useful idiots that the progressives play alongside the Islamists. That seems to be bursting forth in a more obvious way these days. But when did you really first see how sympathetic or confused the progressives and the left were with the radical Islamists?
Well, I saw that in the Netherlands, and I think in my early encounters with Dutch progressives, I thought it was all coming from a good place. I thought they were people who felt that they were privileged, that they had held colonies in the past, that they were super wealthy. And when I was in Parliament, it was part of the Dutch national policy to preserve some of the GDP, to develop other kinds of poor countries, to bring, poor people from third world countries into modernity. It was part of the national, the Christians active in that country to say, we're going to volunteer and welcome everyone. So that's how I interpreted it. And also, by the way, my assimilation, which is very quick into Dutch society, I thank most of that for Christian volunteers, people who volunteered because little pieces of paper were hung in the church, like who wants to teach 2 Somali girls in the Dutch language, and people volunteered. And then from there, for me, it was truly accelerated. That's how I interpreted it. But then over time, I came to understand and to review that there's an ideological component. People have come to believe that this concept of multiculturalism, which is rooted in communism, but it's a sort of soft identity-based communism. And that's what they believed. And I'd taken part in those debates in the late 1990s, early 2000s. I don't know, you remember that probably also.
I do.
Yeah, multiculturalism is the answer to everything, and we were all becoming morally right. You can't compare cultures, you can't compare religions, everything is the same. We don't want to be ethnocentric, blah, blah. So I really thought that was coming from a good place. And then I went into politics. And as a member of parliament, walking the corridors of power, I saw how that went from coming from a good place to becoming, cynically, how do we just win elections?
There it is. She thought that assimilating and being multicultural in Christian society was coming from a good place and helping people, and it turned out all it was about was how do we win. We don't give a fuck who loses. We don't give a damn who gets hurt. We don't care who suffers or who's in poverty. She was talking about being in parliament, which would be the same thing over here for politics. She said that what she thought was true, assimilating and helping and being, no, that wasn't the case. She found out it was all about who's going to win this vote, regardless of the consequences of the people. But let's let her continue.
And my colleagues were not asking the question, if we win elections with the ethnic vote, or if we appease the Islamists, we're going to agree, we're going to accept and implement policies that will have very negative consequences for our society. They didn't seem to care. I mean, we would detail those negative policy consequences, but the people who did that would be sidelined, marginalized, and they would be smeared and shut up.
Give me my flowers. She basically is saying what I'm saying. It didn't matter. You're voting in these other people. When you vote them in, you are indirectly agreeing to their lifestyle. And the people are in my case, the Americans who are selling out the Americans, they don't give a shit. They're trying to shut you up because they want to get that money and that vote. That's all that matters. And she's trying to bring it to the people's attention in Parliament, but they like, shut up. We ain't trying to hear that shit. We trying to win these votes and get what we need. We're not worried about if we bring in these immigrants and they bring in their ideology of their culture. We don't care about that. And that's exactly what I'm saying is happening here in America. And she's speaking it from where she was at. She's saying, I lived through it. I'm telling you from a person who actually was in position with these people with power. This is how they operate. They didn't give a fuck about selling out their citizens. They didn't give a damn. She said she was in Parliament doing this shit. It's the same thing over here with the politics. It's the same shit that's happening. And she said the Islamic culture. It's the same thing we're dealing with over here.
And everybody would just go with the dream fantasy of we need to win the elections. That's the most important thing. And we'll do it. We'll win these elections, whatever it takes. Are you on board or are you not on board? If you're not on board,
Shalom.
Bruh, and look at this. And look at the damn ad we get. Oh my goodness. Boy, they listening over here, boy. They listening to your boy over here, bruh. Look at this. Boy, look at this ad. I wish I could show y'all this, but I'm not going to. Let's let her continue though, because she's spitting bars right now, bruh. She's spitting bars. I don't know if y'all listening, but she's spitting bars. So let's let her continue. She probably talk about a country that you live in right now, but let's keep going.
And by the way, it wasn't only the Netherlands that this was happening. Obviously, this was across much of Western Europe. So that leads me to, do you think there is a sort of free Western future, largely Christian future for Western Europe specifically?
By the way, this video was uploaded 8 days ago, a week ago.
I think now that the populations, large swaths of the populations who, because these societies were rich, not just the Netherlands, but all these other Western European countries, the United States, Australia, Canada, these are societies that were so wealthy that they could, for a long time, at least 2 decades that I have witnessed, they could ignore the consequences of the negative consequences of these policies. But we can no longer do that. Now it seems as if it's not just the working classes who are affected. It's not just women who are affected. It's not just Jewish minorities who are affected. It's not just Black Americans, African Americans, descendants of slaves in America who are affected. It's the middle classes. And it's, even Silicon Valley, the richest, most powerful people in the world are saying, my country, my environment is changing in a way I didn't vote for and I don't like. And who are the people who are making these decisions? So as this comes out into the open and these subversive forces, the Islamists, the communists, and whoever has hijacked the Democratic Party, that's what we're talking about. Now that is exposed. And I think it's healthy. I think it's good. And maybe there's a chance that we reverse these policies.
So what does reversing it actually look like? Because I've asked a lot of different politicians from a lot.
Man, she literally broke down America. Without living in America, she literally broke down America. She said everybody, she said the places are so wealthy that they could ignore it at first. She said that's how I saw it for the first 2 decades, but then after that you couldn't ignore it no more. It hit everybody. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter what your color were. It doesn't matter what class you were in. It doesn't matter if you were poor or middle class. Even Silicon Valley was looking around like, what the hell? How is this shit happening? It's what we dealing with right now, bro. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. She's hitting the nail on the head. Give me my flowers for this one. Give me my damn flowers.
A lot of different countries. And, you can get some people, or there are certain places like Hungary, but that's not Western Europe, it's Central Europe, where, obviously Orban has closed the border. In America, we've closed the border. But there's also a homegrown issue now in Western Europe. And in Holland, Geert Wilders, from what I understand, talks a really good game about this. Mm-hmm. But are they doing anything? Are they, I mean, I think they've closed the borders a little bit, but are they deporting people? You know, they're still part of the EU. Like, there's just so many conflicting pressures there.
So what does reversing it look like? I think I would just like to use the American example after Donald Trump is elected in November of 2024. And he ran on this, I am going to close the borders and I'm going to, track all the alien illegals and deport them. Now, that is the reversal program. It's very, very messy. And it gives, again, these other forces the opportunity to impede law enforcement, to create this sense of chaos. So it is, that's what reversal looks like. I've looked at countries like Sweden. Sweden used to be the most welcoming, the most naive. I mean, if you,
She is killing it right now, bro. She is hitting this shit on the head because she's lived it. She's seen this shit firsthand. She's like, I've seen this, and she's able to break this shit down like a fraction. She's like, I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna roll out. I've seen it. This is what's going to happen. No ifs, ands, or buts. But the thing is, if this rolls out and happens in America, what are you going to do when somebody takes over the global military powerhouse? That's the question.
I think it's a complex.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't like America as a powerhouse as it is now. Let me just call a spade a spade. But when somebody else gets a hold of that power, what you going to do then?
I meant to call them naive. I think sometimes I think it's a compliment to call them naive. I think sometimes they were stupid, and sometimes the elites of Sweden were insensitive to their populations, so they need to be held accountable. But it's okay. Reality is holding them accountable. So now they're at this place where they're saying, remigration, we're going to pay you, Somalis, Middle Easterners, South Asians, we're going to give you money to go back home. So that's like that soft European approach versus that Trump hard approach of, I'm going to deploy parts of our military to find these people and get them out. That's where we are. You look at all of how we're going to reverse these policies. It's just going to be one hell of a mess. It's going to be messy.
Here's the top 3 lives.
Yeah, it's going to be, bro. She hit the nail on the head with that one, bro. Shout out to her. I love to do more videos on her, and I can't harp on her too long today because I got to wrap this up here soon. But she be coming with straight bars, especially from her learned experience from what you just heard. She's been through a situation like this. She's seen how this plays out. She knows what it looks like, and she's seen it happen from a soft approach. And then she's sitting back and looking on the other end, and she's like, okay, that's how you reverse it with a hard approach. But the question is, like, how long will the reversal last? Because if the next president comes in and he's not as hard as Donald Trump is, then I mean, it's just like I say, if the next president comes in, and let's say the next president happens to be a Democrat, boy, we are fucked. Like, I'm just gonna call it out. If the next president we get that comes in as a Democrat, man, it's about to, sheesh, boy, America finna go, it's finna be bad. It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be so bad. It's going to be an expedited process because right now New York ain't doing too shabby. New York got trash all over the place in certain parts. It's not looking too shabby. I mean, because like I said, Zohar Mandami is a socialist, like 1 degree under a communist. So once you get everything aligned and you just get that presidential power as a Democrat, you like get that one in there that's like, get like a 50-year-old president in there that's like a Democrat socialist, boy, game over at that point, bruh. Game over. Move over Europe. Like, America gonna be like, hold my beer. We're gonna show you how to do it, Europe. You're moving too slow. We're gonna show you how to put this thing down the shithole. It's gonna be, and every time you turn a system from like a capitalist system to like a socialist communist system, that transition is usually a very ugly transition for however many 4 to 10 years. Like I think it takes like 10 years for it to like turn over. And this time we got AI added to it. We have all these different things that play that when you include technology. So like this is gonna be, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be crazy. But let me see what else we got here. What else do I have right now? Not you, buddy. What else do we have? What else do we have? We have, oh, this dude I wanted to show you. I did want to show you this guy right here. So this African man, he's going to speak on Christianity and Islam and how they bully Africa. And he does a very good explanation when he explains the two. Listen to what he says and then listen to what he speaks on. And then, you know, ask yourself if you can see these two religions and if it holds weight on how they bully other countries. So let's just take a look and hear his 2 cents. I enjoy it. But here we go. Let's just take a look and hear what he has to say. Here we go.
Christianity and Islam by nature, they are bullies of African culture. It is expressed in their intolerance of other people who believe differently from who they are. So here's a simple example. If a Muslim walks into this village, the first object is to build a mosque and make everyone in that village a Muslim. It changes your timetable of waking up. You wake up at 5, changes your fashion, changes the way you bury your loved ones. Now you must do everything according to Islamic law. The same thing is true with Christianity. Christianity walks into a space, first thing they want to do, as a Zulu, as a Xhosa, you take off your shirt and put on your beautiful beads, and you walk up to church. Christianity will look at you, because apparently you must become European first, before you can become Christian. In order for God to accept you, He cannot accept you in your authenticity. He needs first to take you through the culture of the dominant culture, which is the colonial culture, before you can actually become an acceptable Christian.
I mean, buddy has a fair point. Shout out to him on making that point. But the thing he said with the Islamic culture, it does make sense. But same thing with the Christianity European culture as well. So shout out to that gentleman for making that point. I think that's probably going to be all of my videos. I think that's going to be all of them. I think I just ran through all of them. I don't know. I don't have any more. Yeah, that's going to be it. Because that makes sense for just understanding Sharia law in America and how it's going on and how it's infiltrated different parts. Honestly, I could just go and just type in Sharia law Ohio on YouTube. I could just type in or Islam in Ohio. I could type in Islam in, I don't know, North Carolina, Islam in Nevada. I'm pretty sure like you're just gonna see it popping up rampant all over the place. And as you can see, Ayan Hirsi Ali and that guy that I just showed, when they spoke on Islam coming in, they both literally described it the same way. So when Islam comes in, they're gonna come in, the first thing they're gonna do in your village is build a mosque, and then they're gonna turn around and try to convert everybody to be a Muslim, and then have you waking up doing 5-time prayer day and all that stuff. And then he said the Christianity in the European sense is gonna try to get you to change your culture and have you, you know, represent Christianity and, you know, the European sense, however. But as we see, as I look at it, I always look at it as like, we're just at a, we're at an inflection point in America. And, you know, if we get to the point where we have a religious takeover and we go from a Christianity nation to an Islamic nation, which the way they're moving and how they're building societies and implanting their people in here, and if, you know, the Democrat side allows for it to happen because they want to include everyone. And if you include everyone, I mean, somebody's going to come in and bully that inclusion. That's just a nature of things. You know what I mean? Like if you include everybody in your house, somebody's going to walk in your house and look at you like you a soft ass bitch, and they're going to try to debo you and take your house from you because they like, bro, you let everybody in here. This is my house. Give me this shit. Get your soft ass out of here. That's just the normal thing. Somebody's going to just boss you out. Somebody's going to punk you out of your shit. That's normal. That's normal. So when you include everybody in and think everybody's going to be living happily harmlessly, somebody going to walk in and be like, look at these soft ass, whoopee cushion ass people in here. I'm about to take this shit and they finna follow my rules. that's normal because you ain't got no balls to like put, you know, rules and stipulations and guidelines on people coming in. So, you know, to me it makes sense. It makes sense, and especially when we seen with the dude with Nick Shirley getting pushed out on the private property when he was in Texas, saying that he couldn't even stand on the private property because he wasn't Muslim and stuff like that. Like it just reminds me of Revelation 13. That's where it kind of looks like we're headed to at some point. It just seems like we're going down in that direction. But you know, as long as you can see the evil from a mile away, man, a prudent man sees evil and hides himself, but a regular man sees it and just stays the path and then has to suffer the consequences. So I just try to tell you, stay focused, keep your head down, grind 5, 10, 15 years. Don't pick your head up. Just keep grinding, because usually in these situations, at least if you got some kind of money, you're able to be nomadic and move around and be able to like leave and go as you please, and to be able to be very mobile with how you live your life instead of being stationary, stuck in poverty, and have to fall victim to a system that systemically tries to destroy you via debt, via policies, via currencies, via just a poverty way of living. And that's what they try to do, because it seems like the rich, they get to do what they want to do. I'm not saying just get rich and do as thou wilt. That's not my message. My message is to just stay focused, keep your head down, have a moral compass about yourself, know what you got to sacrifice, focus, keep grinding, and then come up and just, you know, have your own business and sort of sense of what you do, and be able to navigate this world with your own philosophy that you can understand on what's going on, instead of navigating in a poverty sense instead of a poor sense. Because when you don't have any money, it's hard to move, it's hard to navigate, it's hard to think straight. You can't nutrition yourself well, you can't, you know, you're always stressed out, you're always thinking about food and bills, and all. You want to elevate above all that and be able to move and navigate and travel and still see the world even though all this chaos is going on. Understand the sacrifices you have to make, understand the moves that you got to make, start a business, stay focused on your business, because that's the direction this world that we're headed in. Focus on business, mind your business, tend to your business, and just know that wherever you go, man, that God will bless you, because, you know, faith without works is dead. So if you don't have no faith and no action applied to that faith, ain't shit gonna happen. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in to another DnL&x Fitness live stream show. That's going to be it for today. I got to get up out of here, so I will catch y'all later. I'm going to be gone for a few days away from streaming, but I will be putting out shorts over the week, so hopefully y'all enjoyed today's show, and I will catch y'all whenever I get back doing what I got to do. I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Take care, and peace.
Thank you for watching DnL&x Fitness live stream. Goodbye.
Bread, then buy the dream. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay.